Hi guys, firstly, as you may or may not have noticed, we've had a bit of a makeover in this room. I came home and Mum was like, oh, I've done the room up, and I was like, now my vlogs are gonna go all weird because half of them will be like that and half of them will be like that. And you also might see a switch and it go back again because I pre-recorded some in advance. It's quite nice, I've got more space for my captions, which is great. But anyway, right, this video is on Audition Attitude. I'd say if you watch any of my videos, this would be the most important one to watch. Because year 1 to year 2 of me auditioning, obviously I had more singing lessons and things like that, but there wasn't a drastic amount of change in me as a performer. I'd say the most drastic thing that changed was my attitude towards auditions and my way of thinking about it that got me in. So I want to go through all the things that I feel helped me with how to get through the whole process, because it is very stressful and it's finding a way of making it not so stressful and just trying to enjoy it, because you're going to be at your best when you're enjoying it. Okay, if you go in with your aim being, I want to get into this drama school, that puts a huge amount of pressure on you, because you're thinking everything I do matters, because if I don't do this right, if I don't do this right, if I don't do this right, I'm not going to get in. My advice would be go into the room with your aim being to perform this work, to perform these pieces that you've prepared and you know that are good. You know, you spent a lot of time on them and a lot of thought and energy has gone into preparing these pieces to perform. This is what I did in my second year. I went in and my aim was to perform these pieces to a panel of professional people. Like, that's an amazing opportunity. You get to perform in front of a panel of professional people who are in the industry right now. You've paid to be there, so, you know, own your time, own your space. The panel aren't there to trick you. They want you to do as well as you can. And they said to me at my GSA per audition course, they said, you want to show them you at work, because we're performers and we want to be paid to perform, so you need to show them the professional you. Your aim is to go in there and show them the work that you've prepared, and if they like that, great. If you get in, amazing. But if you don't, it wasn't meant to be, and it's fine, because your aim was to go in and show them the work that you've prepared, and you did that, and you did it the best you could, and you can't do any more than that. And then it takes it out of your control, and then it's easier to just let it go and move on to the next one if you didn't then get in. It's so hard not to beat yourself up about it and think, oh, I did this wrong and I did this wrong. And it's just like, no, you went in there and you performed as best you could, and that's all you can do. You need to trust in your preparation. There's not a lot more that you can do. As long as you know you've done your preparation, you're confident with your preparation, then just trust that it's going to go well for you. So that would be my one main piece of advice. Don't go in there with your aim being to get into that school. Go in there with the aim to just perform the pieces as best you can and see what happens after it. If you get in, it's a bonus. At the end of the day, we're all auditioning because we love performing, and that's all you're doing, another performance. It's just in front of some people who are a bit more important. You also have to go in a fighter. This is what my teacher kept saying to me. He said, you have to go in a fighter because you're fighting for a place and you want it and they're going to give it to you. But you have to have that confidence about you that's like, yes, I am good enough to be here. Because if you don't believe that you're good enough to be there, you're certainly not going to be able to convince them that you're good enough to be there. And even if you're incredible, if they don't think that you believe that you can survive the course and survive the industry, it's not going to put a lot of confidence in them to take you on as a student. And I think in my first year I was very young, I was very not really know what I was doing with myself, and I think that came across. Like, it's really hard to hide that kind of stuff. So if you are going in and you're auditioning your first year and you feel young, that's absolutely fine. I said to myself first year, I'm not really sure if I should audition, if I'm ready to audition, if I got in, if I'd even want to go. Like, I still feel quite immature just in terms of like life experience. But I said, do you know what? I've got nothing to lose. other than the cost of auditioning, but as I've said before, it's an investment. And I would say if you're not sure about auditioning that year, do it anyway, because the amount of things that you will learn, and you will learn what not to do, like I've said before, and you will then go into the process the next year, if you didn't then get in, knowing exactly what to expect. Having all these things in my mind, I was able to be confident and calm, and that meant that I performed at my best. Everyone gets nervous, and it's expected. Like, if you weren't at all nervous, it would probably be a bit worrying. But nerves are in no way going to help you. So I'd say try and visualise what it's going to be like, where you're going. It will make you feel a bit calmer about the whole situation, and when you get there it's not such a shock and it doesn't freak you out so that you can't then perform your pieces at your best. Stay focused on yourself. A massive thing is do not compare yourself to anyone else when you get there, and it can be really, really difficult because you're surrounded by sometimes hundreds of other people, and you know, you go to your audition and there's 50 other long hair brunettes behind me. You're literally like, oh my gosh, we're all clones. And the most important thing is that you be yourself. They don't want to see you trying to be someone else or being a fake version. They want to see you, and they want to see the person that you are, because they're not just accepting people into their school, they're creating a company of people who are going to work together for the next 3 years, putting on shows every single year. And if you've done loads of musical theatre and you know what it's like when you get into a show, it's literally like a family. Like, those people are your family, and they want to see you so that they know, are you someone who is going to come and join the family? I found it in dance calls, especially this year. I just thought, do not look at anyone else. I mean, I went to my Erdang dance audition, and I've said before, I'm not an incredible dancer. I can dance, but I can't trick, I can't do the splits, I can't do 50 turns, like, no. And obviously I went to Erdang and there was incredible dancers like the ones that you see on Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I was just like, no, I have to stay in my own headspace, I have to focus. So especially in dance calls, I'd say the most important thing to do is take a step back, and not literally, like, don't go to the back of the room. I worded that really badly. Take, like, in your mind, take a step back and be like, okay, so at some places they have audition helpers who will stand at the front and do the dance with you. I found it helpful when everyone else was performing, not to watch everyone else performing, but to watch the helpers and keep getting the moves in my head by watching the helpers. Or I just went into my own little zone and was going through the moves in my head. Because also, if you're watching other people, they might be doing it wrong. You might be picking up bad habits from them about the choreography. Because other people said to me, oh, weren't people like incredible at your Erdang audition? And I was like, well, to be honest, I don't actually remember, because I was in my own little bubble. Like, I don't really remember the dance audition a lot. Just trust in yourself and your learning, that you've learnt the choreography and you're going to perform it as best as you can. Same in singing auditions. I mean, obviously that's harder because you can't like zone out if you're listening to everyone else sing. But I just say, just sit there and be like, oh, like, I got a free concert here. Like, listening to everyone else sing, getting song ideas for my rep, and it helps to take the pressure off and it helps to keep you calm. Do not compare yourself to anyone else, please. Also, audition stress is just not helpful. I was really, really bad in my first year, audition stress, and when I'm highly stressed, I get really bad headache where the only thing that is going to get rid of it is to go to sleep. And it happened at every single audition for me last year. I got this headache, and it's okay if, you know, your audition's finished and you've got a headache, you know, you can just go to sleep. But I would end up, you know, if the audition was all day, I would get this headache halfway through the day, and then I was trying to perform and I couldn't focus. But I was only getting these headaches because I was stressing. So I had to this year find ways to calm myself down and be like, no, you don't want a headache, because it's not going to help you. And it also meant that last year, like, I was going to my auditions thinking, oh, but it's going to make me feel really ill by the end of the day. And so it was almost like sort of not enjoying a lot of it. No matter how good of an actor you are, if in your mind you're like, oh, I feel so ill, I just want to go home, They're going to pick up on that. So you want to try and avoid that as much as possible. I didn't have any headaches this year just because I had my mindset that I was going in there to show them some pieces, do some dance workshops, and I was getting to spend the whole day performing, which is what I love doing, and it's honestly transformed me. It sounds so silly, but it honestly did. This year I was just really excited about all my auditions. Last year I was so scared, and please, like, don't be scared about your auditions because they're not scary. I just went in and I was so excited about who I was going to meet. You love auditions, you meet so many new people, it's great. Don't stress. Remember that they are not looking for you to be perfect. They are looking for potential. If you're perfect, there would be no point you going to that school for 3 years. You might as well step straight onto the West End. My life motto is everything happens for a reason, and I strongly, strongly believe that. If I'd have got into drama school last year, I don't know if I'd have survived it, to be honest. I was not ready to go. And gap years are not a bad thing, so don't be afraid of a gap year. It's only improved me, honestly. The people I've met this year, the shows that I've worked on, the things that I've learned, and the money I've saved. There is a reason I didn't get in last year, and there is a reason I've got in this year. And if you believe that, it will help you to cope with the rejection, because yes, some people are amazing and they get into every school that they audition for, and that's fab, but this industry is all about rejection. You're going to have rejection wherever you go, and you just have to keep knowing that that has happened for a reason and something else is round the corner. So don't despair if you don't get in somewhere, please, because most of the schools say that it takes on average 2 or 3 years to get in, and they wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. And it doesn't matter if it takes you 2 or 3 years to get in, you'll get in the end. So don't stress. And I will finish by saying that my biggest influence to change my way of thinking has been Mr. Bryan Cranston. He is my all-time favourite actor and inspirational person. I just love him. If you don't know who he is, if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, watch Breaking Bad. All of the things that he says seemed to make sense with me and seemed to click with me and change my attitude and my way of thinking and get me in to drama school, honestly. So if you haven't looked at any of his stuff, just look him up on YouTube, Bryan Cranston. Watch some of his interviews with people and listen to some of his ideologies, because he's got it going on. He knows what he's talking about, and he's so experienced that you have to trust him. His way of thinking has completely changed the way I see auditions and the way I see this industry. In a positive way, not in a bad way, in a positive way. So if you haven't seen any of Bryan Cranston's stuff, I really, really recommend that you do that. Most importantly, your audition attitude. You need to go into that audition, you're going to do your best. Don't think I need to get in here, just think this is a great day, it's a great opportunity for me to show my work, show my pieces to these professional people from the industry and show them what I can do and show them who I am. If you think like that, you will be focused completely on performing. If you stress and you're really nervous and you're not confident, it makes it 50 times harder for you to be successful at that audition. I strongly believe that your mindset will be the most important thing in getting you into drama school. Please let me know what you've thought of this video or any of my other videos. Please feel free to ask me any questions. Please subscribe to follow the series on my advice for drama school. Be yourself, be confident, be calm, stay focused, trust in your preparation, and everything happens for a reason. Go in a fighter, you'll do it, you'll get there. See you on the next one. Oh gosh.